Hi guys, it's John here from Hex Crypto, and today I wanted to talk about Helium 5G. I was recently contacted by Helium Deploy, which I'm sure you've all heard of if you know anything about Helium, and they wondered if I wanted to make a video about Helium 5G. So I very politely declined the offer from the guy at Helium Deploy because obviously here in Europe we're not even allowed to put up our own 5G CBRS radios. So currently there's no way we can actually mine the Helium 5G token. But I was assured by the guy from Helium Deploy that I should still attend the meeting as there was something that they wanted to announce. So of course I did attend, and what Helium Deploy are doing is actually making it possible for people outside of the US to mine the mobile token, which will be Helium 5G, even if you don't have your own setup. So this is where Helium Deploy and their partnership with Moken.io come into play. Basically what they are doing is offering people outside of the US, or even in the US actually, for that matter, but I imagine it will mostly be people external to the US to use this service, as there's no other way we can currently set up our own Helium 5G miners. Now, you know I've been a fan of Helium for, well, since the start of my channel. That's where Hex Crypto, the name, comes from because of the hexes on the Helium map here. And I've been doing pretty well with my two miners here over the last year or so. But I was very late to the party of the Helium train. And I'm sure you'll remember those videos back when Helium miners were impossible to get hold of people saying that they were earning thousands and thousands of dollars every month or every day, even in some cases, with their Helium HNT miners. So now that the opportunity to earn mobile tokens from outside of the US has risen, I think it's a good time to have a look at what is on offer here. So like I said, Helium Deploy have launched Moken.io, which is their way of allowing people to basically purchase a 5G miner that's already been deployed in the US and get paid a percentage of the mobile tokens it generates for doing so. So Helium Deploy have been very kind to set up a miner for me and allow me access to the marketplace early so I can show you guys exactly how this works. So I'm just going to log in now and we'll have a look at what's going on. We'll then have a quick look at the potential earnings from this, and also how you can get yourself set up with a 5G miner as well. Okay, so this is still in alpha at the moment, so it is very basic at the time of recording this video, but this is the marketplace. And this is basically a list of all the different miners they've got set up already, earning mobile tokens in America, and exactly how much they cost and how much of the earnings you can receive. So for example, let's have a look at this one here and just delve a bit deeper inside to see what we're getting here. So you can see here, this is a Freedom Fi setup. And if you have a look at the agreement, you can see exactly what you're going to get here. So the total price is going to be $2,500, which is a lot of money, but obviously this is basically the cost you're paying to have Moken actually deploy this for you with a professional engineer, of course, and then to be getting a share of the earnings every month. So you can check these out as well. These aren't just made up. You can click on view deployment and you can actually go down and view this on the Helium Explorer if you want, and it will go directly to this 5G miner setup. So from here, obviously, like with all Helium miners, you can view all the earnings. And this one here, it looks pretty good actually. There's quite a few radios attached to it. And you can basically get an idea as to what your potential earnings might be in the mobile token by just going, like I say, go through the marketplace, having a look at each different miner and just determining exactly where you want your miner to reside. Maybe you want to be in New York or LA or somewhere, somewhere there's going to be lots of people using the 5G network, and then determine whether you're happy, obviously, to sign up and pay this $2,500 for the privilege of getting 65% of its earnings. I like the fact this is actually split up into monthly payments. Currently they accept PayPal, so that's quite nice. That means you are protected with the PayPal buy protection. So that's a really nice thing. You don't have to pay with, sending USDC to some shady wallet somewhere. This is all done via PayPal, so I quite like that as a payment method personally. I know not everyone likes PayPal, but it is what it is. They do at least protect the buyers, which is nice. So yeah, I've read through the agreement and I can't see anything particularly wrong with it. So yeah, if you agree, you can set up that payment via PayPal. Now, if you want, you can sort these by the earnings from yesterday or on average, and obviously pick one that you find has got the best sort of average overall, I would, because we're not 100% sure yet how much this mobile token is going to be worth, but obviously the more the better if you can get one. So like I say, we're not 100% sure how much it's going to be worth, but there is a Helium Deploy calculator where you can actually calculate exactly what you could potentially get. And this is based on some calculations that have been done where the token price, which is launching at the end of February, is going to be $0.0007 per token. So we can go to the Helium Deploy Estimator here, and I'll put a link to all of this in the description, obviously, and we can have a quick look at what we could potentially make. Now, currently it's set by default to 100%, so we can obviously take off, depending on which hotspot we choose, whether it's 75% or 65%, we can take off either 25 or 35% of the earnings in this calculator, but it does give you a bit of an idea as to what you'd expect. Okay, so it will obviously depend on your unit that you end up getting from the marketplace. You'll see exactly which radio it is you're getting when you go to sign the agreement here. Let's just have a quick look at this one, for example. We can see this is a 3 radio setup, so it should be earning quite a lot here. Right, so rather than trying to work it all out yourself, what I've done is put together a little calculator here, which I'll link to in the description. And you can basically just fill in the exact details of your setup here, and it will then work out exactly how much you should receive on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. Also gives you an idea of when you're ROI in, and just for fun, how many years it would be until you got your first Lamborghini. Now we're averaging out a Lamborghini costing about $200,000, just so you know. So yeah, this is my current setup. So I should be getting about $11.55 daily, which is about $80 per week, $346 per month, and about $4,000 per year. Now this is just with my one single miner, and that's receiving 75% here of the full earnings of the miner. So if I was to purchase one that only received 65%, that would obviously go down slightly, but we'll leave it as 75%. That is my current setup. If you have a play around with this just for fun, if the dollar went up anywhere close to where HNT is at the moment, which is $3, we'd be looking at some ridiculous earnings from our miner here. Now, obviously that isn't going to happen, and the amount of earnings you get will decrease over time as more and more miners go online. So it is fun to just play around with these numbers and just see, you know, how long it would take before you become a millionaire. Currently, it'd be about 2 months if it went up to $1, and of course, you could buy yourself a Lamborghini in just a couple of weeks. Now, the chances of that happening are very, very small, so I will leave this on the default 0.07, but even if it went up to, say, 1 cent, you'd still be earning a ton of money from the Helium 5G network here. I'll leave it on the default, and when it launches at the end of the month, we'll be able to determine much more accurately what the sort of earnings and ROI is. But you can see, even if it did launch at this low price here, your ROI is just 216 days, which is pretty nice indeed. So let's say you were to buy 10 miners and your average would increase obviously by 10 times. That's looking at some ridiculous numbers here on the earnings calculator. And again, I'm just going back to the Helium situation back in 2001, where it was just absolutely crazy. People earning thousands of dollars a day. Whether that's possible in a bear market is obviously anyone's guess, but it is fun to dream, obviously, what you could potentially be earning from these 5G miners. So yeah, link to that in the description. I think this is a really exciting opportunity to get into Helium 5G before it's even launched, because you know for a fact that when it does launch and everything goes off like it did with HNT, it's going to be impossible to actually get hold of a 5G miner. So some other things to bear in mind are the Helium and T-Mobile partnership that was announced last year. So whilst initially it's only going to be used for mobile data, obviously Helium are hoping that eventually T-Mobile will also be using the Helium 5G network for voice calls as well. Now, T-Mobile isn't the largest mobile provider in the US, but it is pretty big. They've got about 86 million subscribers as of 2019, so it's probably pushing close to 100 million now. So imagine all those people using the Helium 5G network for data and voice, and you can imagine the potential earnings from the Helium 5G setup. Right, so let's have a look at the 5G network as it stands currently. Obviously, it's all in America, and there's only currently 8,381 radios as we record this video. So currently it's very sparse, but as we saw with Helium, that will soon go up quite a lot higher. We're nearly at 1 million Helium miners at the moment, so that is hopefully what we'll see for the mobile 5G miners in the coming year or so. So just back onto the Moken website briefly, and we'll just have a look in the portfolio. So like I said, Helium Deploy have given me a radio for this video, and we can have a look at the details and exactly how much we're going to be getting in theory. So we can come down here, and obviously you can buy more than one if you wanted to, but this is the one that they've very kindly donated to me, and this is currently in Houston, Texas. So let's just click on here and have a look. Bitter Glossy Hamster is the name of the miner. And we can see here how it's been doing over the last month or so, and it looks pretty good to me. Obviously, getting hundreds of thousands of these tokens every day is nice to see. We can see here the next payout is on the 6th of February this year, and the current number of tokens is going to be 34,500 on the next payout. So you can see here, since I first started putting this video together, I've already gone up to 69,800 tokens. As you can see, it adds on every day the amount of tokens that you are receiving from your radio. Now, to get your rewards, you need to just set your wallet address in your profile here. So just click onto profile, put in your Helium wallet address, and you'll be good to go. And you'll be able to check in your Helium account, obviously, when those mobile tokens get deposited. So I will be sure to keep updating you on how this is going. Don't forget, this is still in alpha and it's very, very early days for Moken.io, but you can sign up to be on the waiting list. Even if you don't end up going with one, I'd get signed up anyway, just so you can get in and have a look at the marketplace and then decide whether or not you want to go ahead with the purchase. But obviously, the marketplace is only going to have so many Helium 5G miners available to purchase. So at the moment, they are limiting access so they don't all suddenly get picked up by one person. But I have put a link down below if you want to get yourself a miner. There's currently no discount at the moment, but hopefully in the future, they will be adding a discount. And of course, I will update you on whether a discount gets added onto that link. But yeah, any question you have, do let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I next upload a video on Helium 5G. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.